This lesson is on Chapter 8, Section 1, titled Simplifying Algebraic Expressions. So what we're going to be using in this lesson is the distributive property, and the distributive property can be used to simplify all these expressions. So please let's remember back to the distributive property with the coefficient out in front, or that number out in front of our parentheses. We're going to be multiplying that number to both sets of numbers inside the parentheses. So remember that rainbow property. So A times B plus A times C, and that's how we're going to be using the distributive property to solve these expressions coming up here in our examples. So let's go to the first one. So use the distributive property to rewrite each expression. So when we're rewriting the expressions, we're not actually solving for an answer. We're actually just rewriting the expression that's given. So we're going to use the rainbow property, or the distributive property. We're going to say 4 times x plus 4 times 7, and 4 times 7 is 28. And if you notice here, we have this part of the expression and this part of the expression. This part of the expression has an x. This part of the expression does not have an x. And because of that, you can think they don't look the same. So what we need to do is leave the expression as 4 times some number, 4x plus 28. That's the final answer. Again, if they both had an x attached, we could add them together, but because they don't, we have to leave them separate. So let's look at number 2. Number 2 is the same thing as number 1, except that that 5 is on the opposite side. If you don't like seeing that, you can also rewrite it as this, just like we did on number 1. I have a lot of students that like to do that, so we can go from there. So again, we're going to say 5 times y plus 5 times 2, and 5 times 2 is 10. Again, we're going to leave it just like this because this value has a y, this value does not, so we cannot combine them. Next example says use the distributive property to rewrite each expression. Same thing, except there's subtraction signs instead of addition like the last time. So again, we're going to use the distributive property. We're going to say 6 times p, but instead of adding, we're going to say minus 6 times 5, which is 30. Again, this has a p, this does not, so we have to leave it alone as 6 times p minus 30. Same thing with this example. We're going to do negative 2 times x, so I'm going to put negative 2x. I'm going to bring down that minus sign, and then negative 2 times 8 is going to be negative 16. Again, then when we have two minuses next to each other, it can turn into a addition sign, so we can say negative 2x plus positive 16. And that can be the final answer. Again, this has an x, this does not, so we have to leave them separate. Next, and this will be the last examples here. It says simplify the expression. Okay, so it says 4y plus y. Well, because these are the same, we can think of this as just being 1y, and because they both have a y attached, we can combine them together. So we can say 4y plus 1y is going to equal 5y. Easy as that. You can think of 4 cookies plus 1 cookie equals 5 cookies. Just put, you can put an example in for your variable to hopefully make a little bit more sense. Okay, so number 2 says 7x minus 2 minus 7x plus 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the like terms. So I'm going to combine 7x, and then I'm going to combine the negative 7x because they both have an x included. Don't forget to add that negative sign out in front. So 7x minus 7x, that actually cancels to 0. So those cancel each other out. So then I'm left with negative 2 plus 6. Well, negative 2 plus 6 is going to be positive 4. So I can simplify the expression to just 4 in this. So again, when you combine like terms, notice how I didn't combine the 2 or the 6 with the x's. It's because they don't have an x attached. So that brings me to the end of this lesson on simplifying expressions. Thanks for watching.